With a little help of a friend of mine, today I will prove to you that Dawkins' weasel program has absolutely nothing to do with real evolution. First, let's have a look at my implementation of the weasel algorithm. We put the phrase, "Methinks that it looks like a weasel," into the program, and yep, in no time at all, the program evolves. Hey, why the scare quotes? All in due time. But let's take a little look under the hood of this program. We start by creating a new gene by selecting random letters the length of our target expression. We then duplicate the expression 100 times, simulating the organism replicating. We then randomly mutate the organism to about 5%. We then find the organism that is most like the target expression, simulating selection. We move it into current and repeat the process. Duplicate, mutate, and select into current. When we have produced the target expression, we are done. Works pretty well, doesn't it? Works for what it is, but I don't think that it has anything to do with biological evolution. However, let's get the opinion of a friend of ours. Ours? Yes. Oh, Nat. Nat, natural selection. Are you there? Nat? How fares it with you? Great. But evolutionists and I are having a difference of opinion about how you think. We're wondering if you can help us out. I shall endeavor to assist my old friends. He calls you a friend? I thought you hated him. Oh no, I have no quarrel at all with natural selection. You'll see. So Nat, we're looking at Dawkins' weasel today. He says that Shakespeare's famous line can easily be evolved from this. From gibberish? I'd be most intrigued to witness that. Perhaps we should examine this famous line within its proper context. Context? Dawkins never mentioned context. Indeed, that would explain why he fared so poorly in my course on advanced evolutionary challenges, wouldn't it? You taught Dawkins? I attempted to do so. Ouch. So, back to the context at hand. Well, here's the target in context. Ah, I understand. Shakespeare is elucidating Polonius's character, depicting him as an ingratiating, sycophantic individual. You analyze stuff for meaning? Without question. How am I to determine which options are superior unless I first comprehend their significance? So, where shall we commence? Well, Dawkins starts by replacing the weasel phrase with this. My goodness, that is a truly dreadful mess, is it not? It gets better. Let me show you the phrase half evolved. That did not provide much elucidation, did it? You realize that as he evolves this phrase, the context shall likewise undergo evolution. Shall we not endeavor to evolve it a bit, just to ascertain the effect? How's this? Marvelous. Polonius's expression has suffered a tremendous blow. In fact, I find this version superior to the original, as it is better to be gibberish than to permit Polonius's original phrase to stand. Might we skip ahead and devolve that phrase altogether? Like this? That was jarring. How did it suddenly disappear? When the initial letter of the phrase is altered, the devolution algorithm eliminates the expression entirely. This is akin to a mutation occurring in the start codon. I've never heard of devolution, but look at the effect. This is much better indeed. Two lucid examples of Polonius's obsequescence. Three would be preferable, but who is complaining? Very well. Let us use these evolved phrases as the baseline and ascertain if Dawkins can refine them. How's this? Substantially worse. In fact, vastly inferior. Okay, I'll jump way ahead. How's this? Deplorable. No improvement, I'm afraid. What about almost perfect? In truth, the typographical errors improve it. They afford me the opportunity to dismiss it as nonsense. It appears we are not progressing. Okay, the fully evolved phrase. Regrettably, it is worse still. Shakespeare's message has been obscured, has it not? So it doesn't work without Polonius's line. Correct. Can't we put it back in? By no means. It's not that simple. Polonius's rejoinder would not exist without Hamlet's original statement. But you rejected Hamlet's line, Shakespeare's line. It seems you may yet pass my course on advanced evolutionary challenges. Is this an example of the dread irreducible complexity? A very small one, but yes. How about we evolve both lines via the Dawkins algorithm? Let us attempt. Try this. Alas, a decline. Okay, let's get closer. Still inadequate, not fit for natural selection. But Nat, we're targeting Shakespeare here. Give us a break. Alas, my analysis shall not succumb to the influences of marketing. My calculations are fixated upon the present, never allowing hope or future prospects to cloud my judgment. My dear sir, while I understand that this is merely a study, if the scenario were in fact an actuality, I would readily elect to devolve this to oblivion in lieu of implementing this so-called improvement. Looks rough for Dawkins' algorithm. 5 away? These expressions appear to be of similar quality. I detect a glimmer of meaning within the latter, albeit it is riddled with errors. I shall grant it a tentative approval and classify it as an allele. What does that mean? 'Tis a declaration that forthcoming attempts shall be compared to both versions. Okay, next step. Indeed, it surpasses its predecessor, but still equivalent to the original. Another? Verily, though it contains several spelling errors, the intended message is discernible. It would benefit us to anoint it as the finest thus far. This. A step closer. This. Even closer. How about now? At long last, we are reading Shakespeare in its truest form. So you were really good at the end, but actively resistant at the start. Indeed. That is my modus operandi. And Dawkins' algorithm? 'Tis naught but rubbish, a complete and utter failure. You heard it here, folks. Natural selection sees Dawkins' weasel algorithm as junk. What have we learned? Natural selection cares about context. Natural selection is happy to devolve. Natural selection can see things as about equal and tends to keep both. If multiple parts are required, they must all be there before natural selection will befriend any of them. We call this irreducible complexity. Natural selection is actively rejecting of new ideas until they are nearly perfect. Natural selection is great in the end game.